Alright, so yeah, I almost dropped my bike. Gotta always make sure that the bike is sturdy before you get off the bike. But I wanted to talk to you guys about, somebody asked me whether or not the Indian Scout bobber actually comes with a steering column lock. And the answer to that, Oscar, is that, even though I answered to you in the comments, the bike does not come with the steering column lock from the factory. However, if you buy this bike in Europe, I guess it's a European standard because bikes and scooters get stolen over there so much, the steering column lock actually comes standard on the bike. I don't know why Indian decided to put that on the European version, not the American version. You would think that it would be something simple that they could do, but they didn't. And just to prove to you guys that it's not on here, as you guys can see right here, this is normally where the steering column lock will be, where you actually insert the key. It's not there. And if you actually look under the bike, you'll see that it's not there. So if you actually wanted the steering column lock, you would have to buy that part and install it yourself or go to the dealer and get it installed. Now, there is a YouTuber called Unaclocker. He goes through the process of actually installing the steering column lock on his Indian Scout, and he ended up taking the entire front forks off of the bike because you can't get it in there without actually doing that. You can't actually get the mechanism where it needs to be without actually doing that. So it is a pretty lengthy process, but it can be done. But for something so simple, you would think Indian would have installed that. But without that, this bike is very light, so it can be pushed away very easily. So for those of you that are actually looking at buying this bike, keep in mind, again, if you're buying the American version, this bike does not have a steering column lock, so that means you can actually push it away. You can't lock the steering column, because if you don't know what a steering column is, when you lock the steering column, it only allows the bike to turn in a circle. So that means you can't ride, or you can't push the bike away straight. But that doesn't, even if you had a steering column lock, that doesn't prevent somebody from picking the bike up and putting it on the trailer. So this bike is light, so even with the steering column, it still could be picked up. But the steering column does prevent somebody from rolling away, so it makes it a little bit harder for somebody to steal it. So that's all I want to tell you guys. Oscar asked that question, and I addressed it in a previous video, but I didn't really, I guess, go into detail or show you guys that the security lock wasn't there. So yeah, subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out. Oh, this is gonna be fun tomorrow.